Everyone, welcome to a very special video related to Passover, to Pesach, and something that is very, very close to my heart. A very quick tutorial to explain and define why Passover is very similar to Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, we don't eat. We try not to eat, even if we're desperately ill. We see all these 98-year-old men and women still being stubborn about not eating on Yom Kippur. Why? Because if you eat, the Torah says it's pretty severe, and it means that you are disconnecting from Hashem and from Judaism, and you're not associated enough that you are willing to partake in the most holiest day of the year. Passover is just the same. A person that eats chametz on Pesach, that eats bread, biscuits, pasta, anything that is not authorized and redeemed and deemed as kosher on Passover also is considered as if he or she have lost association with the Torah and the mitzvot, just the same as Yom Kippur. And the question is why? What's so significant about it? And I mentioned this before and I'll say it now, is that because Pesach is the fundamental holiday of Jewish idealism, of our theology, of our emunah. That's where it all began. So we have to connect to that idea. We have to connect to that time, and through keeping the laws of chametz and abstaining from chametz, we connect to that idea. So therefore, we have to get rid of our chametz. We have to sell our chametz. What if you have whiskeys and beers and vodkas and whatever items that you can't consume before Pesach? What do? Since the Torah tells us that we may not have ownership of chametz, even if you don't eat it, if you want to leave it in your home, up there or down there or outside in the garage, it's still not going to help you. It's in your possession. And the Torah tells us that we're so concerned and we're so very well aware that since human beings are so busy with chametz, with bread and other items of wheat and barley and grains throughout the year, that even if you leave it in your home somewhere, we're kind of concerned that you may come out of habit to have association with it on Pesach. So what do? We need to get rid of it. If you don't get rid of it, you don't consume it before, you need to sell it. And we sell it to a non-Jew. Now, what does that mean to you? Do you have to go out and find a buyer? No, you don't. All you have to do is communicate with me, or just say yes. Basically, just say yes. Just tell me that you agree for me to sell your chametz. Take all your chametz the day before Pesach. Put it in one of the cupboards, even of your kitchen. Put a sticker on it, say, can't touch this, and then I sell your chametz for you. Just tell me that you're with me on this list. Just say yes, and I will sell this chametz for you. Why is that going to make me happy? Because then I'll know that I have managed to make a bigger of an impact amongst my community and the people whom I really care about. That they can understand that this year they have done yet another beautiful mitzvah, and it's so easy. See this form? I'm going to fill out your name and your address. Nobody's really going to see it aside from me. And the morning of the eve of Pesach, I will be selling your chametz along with hundreds of other people to a non-Jew. And that means that the non-Jew is buying it for the time of Pesach. If you really want to get more information, please communicate with me. I will explain to you how it works. It's basically a Jewish transaction that has effect in Jewish law. And after Pesach, Motzei Pesach, the ending day of Pesach, when Pesach comes out and you are allowed to eat bread again, the sale is once again void, and you can go ahead, take out everything you want from your cupboard and start using it again. So for the days of Pesach, it's not in your ownership, which is the purpose of the sale. And after Pesach, it once again is back again in your ownership. And the way it works is very simply, to put it in just one phrase, is that I sell the chametz items to a goy, and I make a deal with him. I say, look, I will sell you all this chametz for 500,000 rand. Now, why don't you give me 100 rand in advance, and if you can come up with the remainder funds by the time Pesach is over, you could still come and redeem your goods. If you don't, then the sale is void. And just because I'm driving you crazy and hassling you about this, here's 200 rand for you, just because you're a nice guy. And then that's how it works. And surely I don't recall of a story that anyone ever came up with a remainder funds, and therefore the sale is not void. So to us, it may seem like kind of like a joke, but it's not. It's a technical fashion of executing a legal binding transaction, and with this document, it's legally binding, and therefore we get to fulfill the mitzvah of selling our chametz and not having ownership of chametz on Pesach. Please go ahead and say yes. I'll send you a message. Just say yes, I'm in, and I will know to include you in the sale. It's a wonderful mitzvah, very, very easy to do. You're not going to have chametz anyways on Pesach, so you may as well do it to the very best extent and also sell your chametz before Passover comes in. We will further send more messages about it. I wish everyone Chag Kasher V'Sameach. All the best.